Okay, hi everyone. I'm Nigel Barnforth from 5M Publishing. I'm delighted to have with me Roy Palmer. Roy, can I ask you a little bit about the recent developments with Aquaculture Without Frontiers?
Yeah, well, thanks, Nigel. Well, actually, some really good news just yesterday with Aquaculture Without Frontiers, which effectively is an American charity. We've now got confirmation from the Charities Commission in the UK that we've been approved as a charity in the United Kingdom. So that's going to give us another dimension, which is fantastic. We also have a connection with Australia because we started that about a year ago as a charity. So now we have three effective organisations involved in Aquaculture Without Frontiers. We've had to go that route because today aid money is becoming very strategic. So if, for example, when we are able to get hold of US aid money, we can only use American volunteers, and they have to travel with American airlines, and there's a lot of restrictions involved in that. So obviously we've got a lot of volunteers from around the world, and what we're trying to do is to try and engage where there's amounts of funding that are coming in that don't restrict us as far as the nationalities of the people, because obviously you can have skills from any particular country. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing that.
And which countries are the main thrust of the AWF's work at the moment?
Well, mainly I would say Mexico, Asia and Africa. So we've done a lot of work with farmer to farmer. You know, we were originally working a lot with the Arizona University, and but now we've just signed an MOU with the Florida Atlantic University, and we'll be working with them now to engage more in that particular space. And that's going to be a lot with Africa and other areas where USAID is looking to engage. We're a member of an organisation called VEGA, which is the Volunteers Economic Growth Alliance, and we're also communicating with all their other members who are specialists in agriculture in lots of ways, but very few of them involved in aquaculture. I think we're the main aquaculture player within that little group of people. So we aim to try and connect with those. It's I'm going to be in Washington next week to try and connect with a lot of those people. And then in Australia, we've been connecting with Indigenous people and trying to do some work. We've got a memorandum of understanding with Deakin University, and that's engaging the people in Western Victoria who have got a phenomenal tradition with eels. Goes back for some 8,000 to 10,000 years, and so we're trying to help that get resurrected. And then we're also working with the South Pacific Commission to do some work in the South Pacific area, and then in Asia we've been doing some work. But I guess our first aquaculture learning centre has been with Mexico, with the University UTMART in Tamaulipas. And so that's sort of given us the encouragement that we can do those type of activities, which are sort of like 3 to 5 years of capacity and capability building, and working on specific subjects to try and leave a sustainable industry by the time that we finish.
Fantastic, thanks. And can I also ask you about the recently formed Association of International Seafood Professionals?
Yeah, well, this is an idea that I had, a few years ago, and it's really just been a social media activity up until now, because it felt to me, as I got involved in the global industry, that there is no global association that is non-specific about being fisheries or aquaculture or science, or just enables anyone to be a member. And one of the restrictions I find is that the first thing people say, how much does it cost to be a member? And it doesn't matter what the figure is, that becomes a barrier. So our membership is zero. Doesn't cost anything to become a member. And that's always going to be the plan for individuals. However, there will be a small charge for organisations, and what we're hoping to do is to build global services for the industry that everyone will find handy. So that's been a bit of a challenge to come up with. I'm hoping next week to be able to announce the first one, and then we've formed a not-for-profit organisation that will enable us to actually go ahead and really start pushing this arrangement. But already in social media, we have over 20,000 members, effectively. You know, a lot of people might not realise they're a member, but because of the fact that it's connected to social media. But our aim is to actually connect them properly as a member. And to me, as a global association, our main thing is to actually inform people.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse, it doesn't matter where you are, than you're not getting informed about what's going on in the world. Seafood is the most globally traded food product by a long, long way, but it's strange that we just don't seem to be able to work together. So hopefully we can do this.
Right.
But I want to stress that we're actually not taking over from any organisation. We're not trying to be political in a local sense. We want to be, if we're going to be political, it will be in a global sense, and that's where I think our best tracks lie. And Nigel, if you don't mind mentioning, we've actually got our first event happening in Hong Kong. This organisation is called BIG, B-I-G, which stands for Business, Investment and Government. And that's all about the future of seafood.
When will that be?
That's the 2nd to the 4th of September in Hong Kong, just before the Hong Kong Seafood Expo.
Oh, yeah.
And also just before the Feed and Aqua Food Beijing, if people are going to that. So it's a 2-day, it's a 3-day event. One day is going to be a shrimp workshop, and then the other 2 days are based on talking from all different types of people, from genetics right the way through to retailing, about what the future is going to be in seafood. And particularly one of our main challenges is how we get rid of plastic from our industry. You know, because everyone's looking at that, you know, so if we can keep that up there and talk about that, and I think that's where our association might be able to help, because we can look at global issues and try and bring people together with some solutions to these things.
Sounds great. Okay, we look forward to hearing some more in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed,
Thank you.
Nigel. Thank you.